G'day ladies and germs, Conor here from C-Dubs Media, back with another video. And today we're doing my full review of the Huawei GT Runner. This is an impressive smartwatch. But before I get started, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, share this video if you can, and let's get stuck into the video. Let's go. Okay, so here I am with the Huawei Watch GT Runner 2022 version. Now this is currently retailing in Australia for around $600. You could probably get a bit of a discount if you go into JB Hi-Fi's, and if I didn't have to send it back, I would happily replace my Galaxy Watch 4 with the Huawei GT Runner. And I do have to tell you that this was sent to me to review, and I do have to send it back. And a big shout out to Phil. Phil, you know who you are. Thank you for making this review possible. But the first thing I'll talk about is the specs of the Huawei watch. So we currently have a heart rate sensor, a gyroscope sensor, a geomagnetic sensor, an accelerometer, an air pressure sensor, 4 GB of RAM. I think there's 4 different global navigation systems built into this. We have Bluetooth, we have NFC, 5 ATM water resistance, and Harmony OS version 2.1. Now the battery, I couldn't get a read on what the milliamp hour is, but the claim by Huawei is 14 days of battery life, and I will cover off on that shortly. But to start off with, I'm going to talk about swimming. I know it's a running watch, but I do test these things out for swimming, especially if it says that they can, and especially if it says that they're 5 ATM water resistant. 5 ATM means 5 atmospheric pressures of pressure. Doesn't actually mean water, it means pressure. So 5 ATM is pretty good. That means you can swim for about an hour and a half underwater up to 1.5 meters. If you do general swimming in a pool, you're never going to be underwater for that long, because every time you do a stroke, your hand comes out of the water and you're definitely not 1.5 meters under. So you don't really want to take anything into the salt water. But I did swim with this at the beach and it worked fine. I had no malfunctions. I rinsed it off with fresh water afterwards and it still continued to work like a charm. So definitely tested it out in salt water just for general swimming and body bashing in the ocean shore break. Good fun. Then I went to the pool with the GT Runner and I tried to trick this watch. I really tried. And I think I tricked it a little bit, but for the most part, this is like 99% accurate. And I'll tell you why. It tracks my heart rate while I'm swimming. And that was reflected in the watch. Now, the first time I swam with this, I did 8 laps, 400 meters of breaststroke. And that's exactly what the watch told me that I had done once I checked it afterwards. So it was really accurate. The second one I did was 500 meters, so 10 laps of a 50-meter pool. And I did half breaststroke, half freestyle. So I swam for 25 meters doing breaststroke and then 25 meters doing freestyle. And it actually tricked it a little bit. It thought I was doing breaststroke the whole time, probably because I started off doing breaststroke and it's not really good at picking up changes mid-lap. But I forgive it because it is a bit tricky. However, on the next lot of 10 laps, I did all this in one sitting too, so I was pretty exhausted for you guys, but I did another 10 laps of a 50-meter pool, and this time I did 1 lap of breaststroke, then 1 lap of freestyle for 10 laps. And it recorded as a medley, which is exactly what it was, and it recorded each lap properly, the distance, the time, everything, the heart rate. It was all there for me to check afterwards. So there I had done 30 laps of this 50-meter pool. Then I went and jumped into the 25-meter pool next to that, and I did 10 laps of that freestyle, and it recorded it again perfectly. I just changed the settings to say that it was a 25-meter pool, and I was good to go. I had no hiccups, it recorded it all as it should. So this is one of those watches you can take swimming and forget about having to count your laps. It's going to do it accurately for you every time. Then again in the 25-meter pool, I did another 10 laps, 1 of breaststroke, 1 of freestyle to go out another 250 meters. So all up, I did 2Ks of swimming and it tracked them all spot on. I couldn't fault it in any way. I would say the Huawei Watch GT Runner can definitely be used for swimmers. Even if you're a swimmer that doesn't run, this is a watch you could rely on to track your swimming. It's got a really nice big display as well, so you're going to see your stats while you're swimming or while you're doing a quick turn. You can just quickly check the watch if you want to. I'm not really much of a checker when I'm in the pool, but because of the nice big display of 46.4 millimeters, you can check it during any exercise. Now let me get into running. I think I did just a trial run to start with. I think it was like 3Ks, tracked everything perfectly, did not miss a beat. Then I enrolled myself in one of their training programs. I think it was for a 10K program, and I got awesome stats and I got really accurate tracking in real time. Now, when I use my Galaxy Watch 4 to track my run, there's always a lag. Like I'll look at it and it says 3.2 Ks, and then 3 seconds later, it'll jump to 3.5 Ks. Like it's always lagging by between 100 and 300 meters at any given time. And it also does the same with my pace. I'll look at it and the pace is lagging. And then if I keep looking at it, it eventually catches up while I'm running. Not with the Huawei GT Runner. It was real time, accurate with the heart rate, accurate with the distance, accurate with my pace at all times. I never had to wait for it to catch up, and there was zero lag. And scrolling through the displays to see what I was doing was really easy as well. There was no accidental taps or hits to make it go back or stop running or stop tracking. It worked flawlessly for me. As someone who's an active runner, like I run 5 times a week between 3 and 15 Ks, depending on what I'm doing. And the GT Runner really delivered for me when it came to my running. And honestly, if I was gonna keep this over the Galaxy Watch 4, I wouldn't hesitate. The Galaxy Watch 4 would go straight in the top drawer and it would stay there, or I'd sell it, because that's how much more I enjoyed the GT Runner. I gotta have a sip of coffee. Now, one of the things I really did enjoy with the GT Runner was it would keep a track of what my average pace was, and then I could run against myself, a bit like in the video games where you race your ghost self on your fastest lap. That's what it was like, but for your average pace. So I could constantly see whether I was behind my average pace, and I knew whether to pick up my pace or not. So that was really enjoyable. And also you could use this to track your route, and then you just click run home on the watch and it navigates you back to home. So if you did travel a lot and like to run while you're traveling, you could do that. You could run anywhere and then use the watch to run back to wherever you're staying. So that's a really good feature. I didn't need to use it around my local area because I live here, I know where I'm at, but I can definitely see if you're a traveler and you like doing that running, this is going to be really helpful in navigating your way back to your hotel or wherever you're staying. So really good features here from Huawei. I really appreciate what they're offering. The features, the statistics you get while you're running, it's really overall and comprehensive. You also get these really nice dynamic tracking short video clips of your run, and it shows you where you ran and how fast you ran, and it does it on the map of the location you're in, which I thought is a really nice little feature. You can just share these out onto your social media, in your stories or your reels or that sort of thing. So I did like that as well, getting creative there. It also told me my altitude, my cadence, my pace, average speed, average steps, average heart rate. So you're just getting one stat after the other. And like I said, if you're like me and you like those numbers, it means nothing to anyone else. But as a runner, you like to see how you're progressing or whether you're sort of maybe losing a bit of touch with your pace and you need to change your regime up a little bit. Then the Huawei watch offers you all those stats for you to enable yourself to make better decisions for your exercise. So it was great. And you know what? This is really light too. It's only 38.5 grams. It's a lot lighter in feel than my other smartwatches, which is good. It's nice not to feel like you're wearing a heavy watch while you're running. It does come in 2 colors. You've got gray and black, and this is the black version. I think it looks quite nice. Now it is made of polymer fiber and the strap is made of silicone. I do also like how it's a traditional watch strap. No need to get fancy. Watch straps have been working for a long time. No need to change them up. And Huawei have stuck with that recipe for the GT Runner. This is not falling off. Whether you're swimming, cycling, running, it's staying put. Now you do have 2 buttons. You have one at the top and one at the bottom. The one at the top also has a bit of a jog dial on it so you can scroll through your menus, which I think is a nice little touch. Doesn't have the rotating bezel, but the rotating button is quite a good little implementation there and it can come in useful. That top button is also used for going backwards. Then the bottom button, for me, is a quick menu to my exercises. Hit that and press outdoor run and off you go for your run. Now, sometimes I had to wait maybe 5 or 10 seconds to get a GPS connection, but waiting 5 to 10 seconds is like fast anyway. It's faster than the Galaxy Watch and sometimes faster than my phone when it comes to grabbing a GPS connection. I've got it set to race to wake, and also when I do cycling, I won't get into that too much because it's exactly the same as running. It's a really good experience. The display is easy to read, it's accurate, there's no lag. It's really good for cycling, running and swimming. They are the ones that I've tested it thoroughly in, and I have to say that I'm impressed. Now just quickly, for sleep tracking, it works a treat as well, and this is where I will talk about battery life. Now I can't wear my Galaxy Watch for more than 24 hours. It goes flat. So I can't wear it at night. I take it off and I put it on my charger at night because I just have to. The Galaxy Watch is garbage when it comes to battery life. Huawei GT Runner, we're talking about 14 days of battery life with light to medium use. Me, I'm a heavy user of the watch and all its features. Like I have everything set to high. I use the GPS every day without fail, and I'm getting about 7 to 10 days use out of it rather than 14. But they do state that on their website that with heavy use, you'll get less than 14 days. So I think that their marketing is very accurate when it comes to the running and the battery life and all the features. I've experienced that it's really good at battery life. I can track my sleeping as much as my running. And then to charge it, I just put it on the charger that comes in the box, and it takes about 1 hour for me to charge from close to 0 to full. And then I get another 7 to 10 days out of it. There's no trade-in for this really good battery life. Like I'm not getting poor performance or inaccurate tracking or anything like that. I'm getting really solid experience with really solid battery life. I just can't really fault it. You're definitely getting a better watch. What else can I talk about? Maybe, have I forgotten anything? Actually, let's talk about the Harmony software. So to enable this watch on your Android device, you need to download the application or the APK from the Huawei website. They make it really easy to do this. They give you a QR code, you scan it with your phone, it'll download it for you. Then you have to enable in the settings to install the APK because it's not from the Google Play Store. Once you set it up, the app on your phone is very familiar, very easy to use, gives you a lot of information, but it's easy to understand. The layout's good, and the presentation is really nice. Harmony OS 2.1 on the smartwatch, beautiful, I love it. It's really simple to navigate. Swipe up and it brings up your notifications. Swipe down to get you a quick menu of your settings as well, like your do not disturb and screen brightness and all that sort of thing. And then swipe left to get through to your menu. And that's where you'll have like shortcuts to your weather or running or different apps that you might use. Press the top button once and that takes you through to your proper menu. We are on a winner of the Huawei Watch GT Runner. The only reason I'm not going to be wearing it tomorrow is because I have to send it back. Hit me up in the comments if you've got anything you want to know about the watch. I'll answer the questions if I can. Hit me up if you've got any problems with it that I might be able to talk you through. I'll help where I can. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button and the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video. Love ya.